Good morning, Division Agents. Face here with yet another build video. Now what I have for you today is something a little different. It's a little unorthodox, but with 1.8 pretty much being the death of all skill builds, I've been racking my brain on how to go about getting my favorite build back into the dark zone. I'm more of a support player anyways, and I don't like being thrust into the DPS position, especially with the meta of Striker, Nomad, and Predator. But if you're running with a coordinated group, this build is absolutely amazing. And with that being said, let's get into it. And we'll start off with my gun. I've got the house. It's doing decent damage with 2900 in my firearms. I've got competent, talented, and of course a card counter. Now for any skill build, these two talents right here, in my opinion, are the most important. Because you're constantly going to have competent procced, and if you get any kind of kill, you get that buff to your skill power. And my secondary is an M4 with the same talents of talented, competent, and then I have responsive in my free slot. And just know all my mods are as much crit chance and crit damage mods as you can get. Onto my chest. It's electronics with skill haste, health, and ammo capacity. I'll get into the mods in a minute on my gear because that's where everything gets a little different. On my mask I have electronics with skill power and unfortunately increased kill XP. My knee pads are electronics with health, so I can have just that little bit more survivability, disrupt, burn, blind, and deaf resistance. My backpack is electronics, again with health, for just a little bit more survivability with disrupt resistance. My gloves are electronics with SMG damage, skill haste, and unfortunately health on kill. If I could roll that off for crit damage, that would be ideal. And my holster, 1401 across with 7% skill haste. Now on to my mods, and this is where things get a little different. I have one electronic mod on this whole build with 3% skill haste. I have a stamina mod with skill haste. I have a stamina mod with health, a stamina mod with health, and this is the secret ingredient right here. The 2% critical hit damage mod. Backpack, stamina, with skill haste, and 2% critical hit damage mods. Holster, again, 2% critical hit damage mod. And what that's going to do is allow this beautiful little pulse right here to do 32.7% crit chance and 40.7% crit damage. My box is doing about 22.8, but your box has already been nerfed by 50% due to the buff into stamina. And we can go into my talents. I'm running triage, critical save, combat medic, and death by proxy. Onto my character sheet. 32% crit chance, which is getting maxed out to 60% with my pulse. 86% unfortunately with my crit damage, which is bumped to about 146% or 126% with the pulse. My skill haste is sitting at 34%, but when you drop your box, it's at 49%. And I will live with that. The only down about this build is you are still kind of squishy. You need to play in tight spaces, and you need to play on the edge of the box anytime you come across any kind of predator. But again, if you're running with a coordinated team, this build is the ultimate support build. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until then, dilly dilly, and I hope to see you in the dark zone. Face out.